guys, how's it going? So I'm standing over here on the west side of our house, right where this new brick walkway was installed. It's still not 100% done. Some of the brick still needs that bonding sand put in between, like in all the cracks. And then I'm supposed to go down to the gravel yard and pick out which kind of gravel I want in this circle, and then I'm supposed to tell the landscaper and he's gonna fill it in. But it's coming up on a weekend now, and I'm kind of wanting this project to be finished, so I think I'm just gonna go get the gravel and spread it myself at this point. Because I am just so anxious to get the urn in place and just to have this area feel a little bit more buttoned up. So it's just kind of a quick recap on this area. We had the skinny sidewalk that came out to about, like, I don't know, 5 bricks over, and it was just long and skinny. So we had a 3-foot walkway installed. Got some gorgeous plants in here already, and I've only mulched part of it. I only mulched to right here because this is the section they still need to put the bonding sand in, and when they do that, they blow a lot of it off. Like, they put it in, sweep it into the cracks, and then blow off the excess, and I really didn't want that to be blown on top of the mulch. Isn't that a crazy difference, what mulch does and what our native soil looks like? Our native soil is kind of gross. I'm not gonna lie. And then down here, like, I haven't mulched over here. I had to move some plants, so I'm gonna retool this whole area. I've got some new obstacles to deal with over here. And then we have the brick circle. So this is the area that I need to put gravel in. And you can see, like, let me back up again. This is very different lighting. Shade in the morning, and in the afternoon, from right here to right where that lilac starts to shade, which this lilac is going away. As soon as it's done blooming, we're gonna take it out because a lot of it's dead. So a lot of this is just gonna be full on sun. So it's kind of fun that I get to play with shade plants right into sun plants. But once I get some gravel in here, which it's looking like maybe a 2-inch layer, then I can put my urn in the center. Then it'll be complete-ish. So the place I'm going is actually a place that has, like, construction building supplies, so they are still open and they're offering curbside. So I can't even get out of my car. I'm gonna take a sample of my gravel, and hopefully they can just match it and just put some in the back of my car, and I won't even have to get out. So that's really nice that we still have the ability to do that. And it is a beautiful 75-degree day today. This is what we call a 3/4 chip in the color blue. That's all I know about it, but I really like the color of this, and I kind of want to match it as close as possible. Curbside gravel pickup. I can feel the back end like, we really could use a bigger truck one day. All right, just arrived back at home. There it is. It looks pretty similar. It is pretty dirty though. So I'll get it in the spot where it's gonna go, and then I'll hose it all down to just kind of knock this fine dust off, because that's actually like a darker gray piece, but it's looking pretty light colored because of all the dust on it. Got the wheelbarrow and the shovel. So this just happened. I'm not quite even sure how. Oh, it shuts.
Benjamin would say, all Becks.
off a little bit. That was a lot of work, moving the gravel, and then I spread 20 bags of mulch. Aaron came out and helped me move the urn, and I absolutely loved it. So just take a look at it. We're about ready to lose light this evening, but it's just so pretty. Now just imagine it full of flowers, and you also have to imagine this whole area planted. Because right now, these types of things tend to look a little bit stark in the beginning because they are. You know, there's no softness around them. And that's kind of why I wanted to go with gravel as opposed to pure brick, because I think brick would have looked much too harsh. Don't like quote me on that though. I mean, you never know. I might change it out to brick at some point, but I really do love this. I have not raked it out smooth. I just did that with my hands, so I still need to do that. And I do think that rinsing off the gravel, because they are pretty dirty still, I'm gonna do it a few more times and the color will deepen a little bit. But this is the Galloway urn from Unique Stone that we unboxed this spring. Isn't that just a piece of art right there? You gotta ignore that. The AC unit. We will be doing some videos on how to cover AC units later on. But I just think that this is the most beautiful thing, and it's all plumbed. So there's drip that comes up through the bottom. I will adapt this once I'm getting ready to plant it, which is hopefully in the next day or two. So it goes all the way down and then underneath the path, and there is where it stubs up. And I do have a line I'm gonna tap it into that actually feeds our window boxes around the other side of the house. So I think that will be the appropriate drip line that this one should be on. But this is the only piece that I ordered in a different color. Typically I go with just the natural concrete color because of our hard water staining, but I decided to try this one. I think it's called Ancient Age. If that's wrong, we'll put it up on the screen. But it's got more of this kind of green hue to it, and I thought it would work perfect because I'm not going to be watering this with the hose, and it's nowhere near any grass sprinklers. So at no point should the outside of this urn and pedestal come into contact with water. I'm looking in the inside here. The bowl does sit down on top of the pedestal, so I'm going to silicone around that so that no water will ooze out of there and then down, because that would cause staining over time. And real quick, before it gets too dark, I want to demonstrate how I can maneuver a cart around this very easily. See how easy that was? I mean, that was the biggest question, is like, why would you put an island in the middle of your walkway? I mean, it's gonna totally interrupt your walking ability, and it does not. I hardly ever use it to bring my cart in here anyway, because the driveway is right here. I usually bring my cart over, park it, come in here, do what I need to do, and then go back out to my cart. It might be a little bit more of an issue once the boxwoods are actually a hedge, but even then, I mean, I do still have the ability to bring a cart in here if I need to, but I still see myself parking out there and walking down to do what I need to do, because that's just how I've done it up to this point. And this is just such a different way and something a little bit more unique. But I'm just so excited to start seeing the gravel color deepen a bit and to start planting to soften this whole look a little bit, to soften the edges of the sidewalk as well as the edges of the circle. I'm thinking like a soft grass or lavender or something like that. I think it'll be so pretty. And there is a lot going on around them in terms of plants, but I want to get, like this one right here will get huge. It'll get all the way over to the circle. It's an Artemisia. So there are some things that will be big enough to fill in this space. But just one more look at this, because I've just admired this one for so long. I love the garland right here. I love the leaves. I think the base is really beautiful. I love the fact that it's square. I just think it's such a pretty urn. And I didn't know, when we ordered it, before this was all kind of put together, I didn't know if it was going to be the right scale for this area. I thought it might be too big, but it's not. It's perfect. But you could, I thought to myself, well, you know what, if it doesn't work, I'll just tuck it into a flower bed somewhere, because it's so nice and tall that you could put it out in a flower bed and it would tuck in and it would still shine. So that's gonna do it for this video. I'm super excited that things are starting to button up on this side of the house, because it feels like, well, you know, our friends started taking out the cement sidewalk this winter, and they kind of did it in shifts, which is totally fine, because we weren't using this side of the house. We weren't out here as much, and so they kind of took them as they had time. So this whole side of the house has been torn up since like December. So it's very nice to start seeing things look a little bit more tidy and a little bit more clean, and I am ready to plant. I'm super excited about it. So you'll probably see a video real soon of me planting up this container, because I just Like, I just gotta do it. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video and hanging out with me today, and we will see you in the next one. Bye. P.S. though, let me show you the bulbs up here because they are looking pretty spectacular. I like this view the best because you can see the sun porch, which I love so much. You can see the stairs and the beautiful color. This is the Gamay Tulip Blend from Color Blends. True Blue Pansies, Yellow Ranunculus. I put soft yellow pansies in with the boxwood topiaries. It's just so bright and cheerful up here. And then there's this. I don't know how this made it into my garden. I think it must have made it into the Gamay blend on accident, but it is a very red tulip. You can see why I don't typically put red in my garden because I usually go with a very soft color palette. So when you put red in there, it really shows up. Like a lot. I need to cut that and take it inside. This is the best time of day, right before the sun goes down.